And as you guys can see, here goes my teammate. Guys, the Ferraris are looking really strong in race pace. We're not as strong in quali pace, but when it comes to race trim, we are the car to beat. Into the corner at the end of the back straight, and Vettel goes right around the outside of Lewis Hamilton. And as you guys can see, there are drops of rain on the front wing of Vettel and Hamilton's car. Turbo 51 over here. I hope you're having a splendid day wherever you are in the world. Guys, we're back with the F1 2020 career mode, driving for the Tifosi, driving for Scuderia Ferrari. And guys, it's the mid-season point, so it's time to renegotiate our beautiful contract. Now, obviously, you guys know that I want to stay with Ferrari as long as possible. I want to win the championship with them, and being in the position that I am, it would be stupid not to renegotiate with Ferrari. So before we get into it, hit the like down below to send some luck my way to make sure that Ferrari want to re-sign me as well. I don't believe they would not want to. I mean, yeah, I'm leading the championship for them, and we are leading the constructors. So it would be a bit stupid of them not to not want to sign me. But we'll get to that in just a second, guys. Looking at the upgrade sheet, I would really like to go for that chassis tire wear upgrade, guys. But also we've got an engine upgrade still to come, which will push us ahead of Mercedes. Chassis, we are the best, but I do feel we struggle with tire wear a bit more than Mercedes. And with Mercedes getting desperate in the last few rounds, I don't want to give them the opportunity to steal wins from us. So the tire wear is the one that I think I went for. Actually, no, because we are heading towards a part of the season, getting close towards Singapore. I went for the minor front and rear downforce upgrades, but the next upgrade I will be going for is that major tire wear upgrade. But guys, without further ado, it's time to renegotiate with Scuderia Ferrari.
Great. They're happy to enter into negotiations with us.
Good. Now, guys, I want to stay with the team, so I'm going to go medium risk, not low risk, because I still feel I'm worth a little bit more than 8.37 mil. I feel 8.5 is what I'm worth, and I don't want to upset the team, so that is what we're going for, and we are still signed for Ferrari. And with that, guys, please don't forget to go check out all the links in the description down below, and go check out a few of the things there. I'm sure you will like them. Guys, with our extra money that we just received, we upgrade our personal driver as well. Just a little quick upgrade there. And now we head towards Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. Now, guys, this track on this year's version of the F1 game is the track where the AI are the most OP. So this is sort of a bogey circuit for any and everyone that plays the F1 game. I don't care how good you are. Even some of the esports drivers that I've watched their streams or their videos and things, when they play against the AI, they struggle to match the AI around here. I think the only esports driver that I actually watched that was able to match the AI and beat them consistently was Jarno Opmeer and Brendan Lee. And those are, well, Jarno Opmeer is the 2020 F1 esports champion, and Brendan Lee is a two-time F1 esports champion. So that'll give you guys an idea how strong the AI are around Silverstone. But we're not going to be a bunch of sissies. We're going to take this on. We're going to take this challenge head on. I nearly talked really weird there. But here you guys can see a few upgrades got fitted to the car, and we are now leading by a good margin. Still not enough. Mercedes make one ultimate upgrade or two major upgrades, and they're with us again. But we are officially the fastest car on the grid, with Mercedes securing P2, Racing Point, the 2019 Mercedes, securing P3. Then you've got Renault, who have been on a massive, momentous streak in P4. Guys, Renault are really a team to watch out for. Keep an eye on those yellow and black cars. Red Bull are down to P5. AlphaTauri is now P6 with McLaren P7. Alfa Romeo biting at their heels in P8. You've got Haas in P9, and Williams are still bringing up the rear end of the field. Now, guys, back to the whole story with Renault. You guys know Esteban Ocon won the French Grand Prix for Renault, and through this entire weekend, oh, guys, that run through Maggots and Beckett. Sorry, I'm off of my story. But this run through Mac, it's a biggest. Just look. Left, right, into another left, into a right, get the car through, they plant the power on the way out. Oh, there's just something beautiful about that. But guys, Renault are a force to be reckoned with, and if they keep going on their current trajectory, they're going to be a very quick car come the end of the season. So don't take your eyes off of Daniel Ricciardo and Esteban Ocon in those two Renaults. But guys, without further ado, it's time for quali. Let go!
We seem to be having some software issues at the moment. Sit tight for a few minutes while we reboot some things, okay?
Not the way you would want to start qualifying, but guys, luckily it was a small issue, only about just over 2.5 minutes that we sat in the garage, nothing too bad. And you guys saw that at the beginning of quali, Mattia Binotto, the team boss at Ferrari, just coming to sit next to me. It's clear that Binotto really has taken a liking in me, especially after I replaced their golden boy, Charles Leclerc. So it's very clear that Binotto does like me. So you guys never know, maybe come the end of the season, Binotto wants me to stay at Ferrari so much, especially if I win the championship with the constructors, the drivers' championship with the constructors. Maybe Binotto pleads me to stay. You never know. We'll see what happens come the end of the season, guys. But currently, qualifying is not going too bad. Starting the quali on our back foot already due to a fault with the ECU. I think it was.
Engine fired. We're set.
Thank you, Jeff. That already got, it worked my head a bit. So for this qualification, by the time we start our final flying lap with literally 3 seconds to go before quali was done as we crossed the start-finish line, we're down to P10 for qualifying. So guys, this is not looking good for us at this stage. Once again, AI extremely OP, but still, the Ferrari is the fastest car according to paper on the grid. We cannot afford to place P10, especially in the championship scenario that we are in, leading the Drivers' Championship. So we're really going to have to pull our socks up for this session. Now, heading through Luffield, you can see I take a very wide line through there to get the power down as early as possible. We're just over half a tenth down on our fastest laps. You guys can see I'm pushing with everything I have. Now, heading into Cops, it's a flat-out corner. You throw the car in and you pray that the car sticks. Through this next section, into Maggots and Beckett's, left, right, into another left, down to 7th gear, down to 6th and 5th, back up into 6th as we head through the 4th corner, through the final left hand as we head onto the back straight. You guys can see I get a little bit of slipstream from Pierre Gasly, but we're going to meet at the wrong time heading into the next corner. No! Oh, how am I gaining time going through there? We got up the inside of Pierre Gasly, who didn't get out of our way in time, but by some other miracle we still gain time into the penultimate corner, through the final corner, and we are going to be in P.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who will be fronting the grid. Ricciardo, Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel. Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
What did I say about Renault? Ricciardo is on pole position. This is gonna be insane.
Great Britain then, one of only 2 countries to have held a Grand Prix in every single year of the Formula One World Championship. And the circuit extends that record further for today's Grand Prix. The 3.6-mile-long Silverstone circuit is one of the longest of the season, with 18 corners in the current layout. With average lap speeds reaching around 145 miles per hour, it's also one of the quickest tracks of the year. Watch out for cars taking the right-handers of Abbey and Copse flat out. Anthony Davidson is here once again for today's Grand Prix. Now, can I get your take on Max Verstappen? They've had to change their gearbox. It's never a good start to a Grand Prix when, right off the bat, you have to contend with a grid penalty.
Well, at the end of the day, it's always better to take some pain now than parking it up halfway through the Grand Prix. Let's just hope they can put that new gearbox to good use and get the results they're looking for.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Daniel Ricciardo starts from pole position today, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Perez, Esteban Ocon, and Bottas, Parker, Stroll, Albon, and Lando Norris, Gasly, Kvyat, Carlos Sainz, and Giovinazzi, Magnussen, Raikkonen, Max Verstappen, and Charles Leclerc. Latifi and George Russell ends our grid lineup. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
That is the idea, Jeff. Now, guys, honestly, for today, I'm honestly just looking at getting a top 5. We are in a very comfortable position within the championship that we can sit back a little, not too much, but at a track where I don't feel we've got the pace, especially against the OP AI, we're just going to dim it down a bit and try and secure a top 5. I think it's going to be a phenomenal fight between Hamilton and Ricciardo for the win, and I think Ricciardo, after seeing his teammate Esteban Ocon win a Grand Prix, Ricciardo is more motivated than ever. So guys, without further ado, jam with me. Ready for the British Grand Prix at one of the most loved tracks on the calendar. 5 red lights, and it's go, go, go for the British Grand Prix. Daniel Ricciardo and Lewis Hamilton on the front row. Renault v Mercedes heading into the first corner. You've got my teammate Vettel right behind Hamilton going side by side into the first corner. You've got Perez there as well as myself in there with the second Renault of Esteban Ocon. Into the first corner, it's myself, Perez and Ocon going 3 wide into the fourth corner, the third corner, whatever. Through there we come through it in P4, but that was a little bit bumpy bargy. Let's quickly jump back to our POV for our start, guys. Bottas on our inside, and once again we have just hooked up the launchers with this Ferrari. Let's see, we go around the outside of Bottas. Ocon and Perez are slow through the first corner. I go around the outside of Ocon, and oh my word, me and Ocon tried to go 2 different ways there, guys. I wanted to go a little bit to the inside, and he was just determined to get to the racing line. A little bit of squeezing there between myself and Ocon, but no harm, no foul, nothing broken, nothing too bad there. And now Ocon is battling away with the first racing point of Sergio Perez, as we are trying to stick with our teammates Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton. Ricciardo still leads the way though. So guys, Renault are looking really strong this weekend around Silverstone. Renault have figured out something with that car, and I'm really a little bit no. Let me put it this way. I'm not stressing about them because they are too far behind in the championship already to do something. But if this is their trajectory heading into season 3, we've got a problem. If I don't go to Renault and I go to another team, and this is their trajectory, guys, there's gonna be issues with that team because they're gonna be immensely strong. But we've still got half a season to go, so we can't think about that now. We'll think about that come the end of the season. We come towards the end of the first lap in P4, 8 tenths behind our teammate Sebastian Vettel. And guys, one thing that I don't like about Silverstone, because it's such a high-speed track, the dirty air around this track is absolutely horrendous. You guys can see I'm really trying to hang on to Vettel, but the dirty air is just killing my engine with the overheating, and it's just, ooh, a little bit of a tag slapper there from Pierre Gasly, as he is now under pressure from the McLaren of Carlos Sainz, down the back straight. Sainz v Gasly, he pulls to the inside, does Carlos Sainz, up the inside, he's going to have the outside for Luffield, through this corner, around the outside goes the McLaren driver of Carlos Sainz, very, very nip and tuck through here, but, oh, Sainz actually hangs it around the outside. He's got the exit coming out of Luffield, heading towards Copse, side by side between the Renault-powered McLaren and the Honda-powered AlphaTauri. Around the outside goes Carlos Sainz, very brave move there, and he gets himself ahead of the Frenchman Pierre Gasly, and even Antonio Giovinazzi sees a little bit of action coming his way for this fight. Even Giovinazzi gets past Gasly. Beautiful racing there. What was I busy talking about before we even got to that little battle? Because that battle was just too good not to commentate over. Ah, crap. I forgot it. Oh, guys, it wasn't even Gasly. It was Kvyat who was the driver under attack, which we just talked about. So excuse me, Pierre Gasly and Danny Kvyat. Guys, the two AlphaTauri drivers' helmets look so similar. I never can see whether it's Gasly or Kvyat, as we've got a retirement from the second McLaren, the leading McLaren for this race. Lando Norris is not going to be finishing his home Grand Prix here in Britain. That is very sad for Lando. We jump on board to lap 7. You guys can see Vettel, Hamilton and Ricciardo are in a league of their own. 5.5 seconds separates me and my teammate. So you guys can see just how far ahead Hamilton and Ricciardo, well, now how far ahead Ricciardo is, and Hamilton is under severe pressure from my teammate, and now we are starting to get under pressure from Perez right behind us, and Esteban Ocon, while Pierre Gasly and Alexander Albon, or is this Max Verstappen? I think that is Albon. Yes, guys, it's the number 23. That is Alex Albon battling away with Pierre Gasly, the former Red Bull driver battling with the current second Red Bull driver, and at this stage it is Gasly coming out on top. But now we jump back to our battle, as I'm being followed closely by, I'm being followed closely by Perez, Ocon, and Valtteri Bottas. And as you guys can see, here goes my teammate. Guys, the Ferraris are looking really strong in race pace. We're not as strong in quali pace, but when it comes to race trim, we are the car to beat. Into the corner at the end of the back straight, and Vettel goes right around the outside of Lewis Hamilton. And as you guys can see, there are drops of rain on the front wing of Vettel and Hamilton's car. And yes, you've seen correctly, it has started to drizzle a bit here at Silverstone. And now, guys, this is where the race is going to get really interesting, because the rain that is forecast is very, very light rain. It's not even proper light rain, it's more like a mist. So the track is not getting wet enough for us to go on to intermediates, but the slick tires don't hold temperature really well. Even at a track like Silverstone, where there are so many high-speed corners, we struggled to keep temperature within our tires. So it was a gamble the whole way to figure out what to do, because the rain was going to intensify as the race went on, but very slowly. So at this stage of the race, I made the decision, instead of going for a one-stop or just hoping that there's not going to be an intermediate period, I'm going to go a double soft stint until I feel the weather is ready for intermediate conditions, because I feel, guys, I think this is like lap 8 or 9, it's already starting to rain. So eventually, I think even if it's light rain, like lap 16, 17, it's going to be time for the intermediate tires. And then I'm going to be in the box seat, because I'm going to do a double soft stint, be the quickest car on track, and then go to intermediates. So I can actually gain back the gap towards my teammate and Lewis Hamilton. I don't think we're going to catch Ricciardo, though. Ricciardo is in a league of his own, guys. And you guys saw a beautiful battle there between myself, Perez, Ocon, and even Bottas there. We now come towards the first round of pit stops, and the race leader, Daniel Ricciardo, along with my teammate Sebastian Vettel and third place man, the home favorite Lewis Hamilton, are into the pit lane. Vettel goes onto the hard tires, Hamilton onto the mediums, and Ocon onto the softs. Now, guys, one thing that I know you guys are going to argue with me a bit is, why didn't I just stick to my normal one-stop strategy? And even if the intermediates came, I could do like everybody else, go onto the inters, unless it doesn't get wet enough and I need to stop again. I did take that into consideration, guys, but the rain was not going to go away. The rain was staying. So I basically told myself there has to be an intermediate phase. So into the pit lane, followed closely by Ocon and Bottas. Bottas. And you guys look at the train as we come into the pit lane. Now, as you guys saw the previous lap, Sergio Perez went in along with the leader. So he is trying an undercut on myself because we were battling on myself, Ocon, and Bottas because we were battling with that man right there, the Mexican Checo Perez. But now we head into this next section. Checo is going into the third to last corner through the penultimate and now through the final corner. Here we go. Perez goes. We are on our way out of the pit lane. We're going to hit the line now. Slowly apply the power because it's very slippy coming up this hill. Where is Perez? There he goes. Perez is right ahead of us. But guys, I didn't even fear that a lot because everybody else is either on medium tires or on hards, and I am running a set of soft tires. So I was going to have the pace over these guys because we are in a phase of the Grand Prix where grip is everything. And look already the gap that I pulled on Ocon. It's already 1.3 seconds. And now you guys can see I'm in the driver's seat. We are chasing after Sergio Perez to take back P6. And there is still 2 drivers ahead. I think it's actually Kvyat and Giovinazzi who haven't pitted yet. So we will resume in P4 as soon as we overtake Sergio Perez. You guys can see there, I quickly switched to the intermediate tires for our next pit stop. You guys see the rain is very, very light. It's literally just a little mist. But we can't get complacent. So now we're pushing off to Sergio Perez, heading into Maggots and Beckett's. What a beautiful way this is to enter Maggots and Beckett's. Oh, a little bit wide there through the second left-hander, the third corner of Maggots and Beckett's. Now heading onto the back straight. You guys are now going to see the dominance of this Ferrari engine. We close up to Sergio Perez stupidly quick, go to the inside, dive it up the inside, and that's a beautiful move up the inside of Sergio Perez as we take back P6, net P4. We now jump on board with Valtteri Bottas, guys, who's busy battling with Esteban Ocon, who I absolutely dropped coming out of the pit lane. Bottas goes up the inside. But guys, here's the fun thing. Bottas is not in the fastest car. The Racing Point and Renault are just as fast as the Mercedes throughout this weekend. I mean, Ricciardo qualified on pole and Perez out-qualified Bottas. So it's clear that the Racing Point and the Renault have got the pace of the Mercedes, and they're even matching us. But now, as we head in towards the second part of this Grand Prix, you guys can see my teammate Vettel, who went onto the hard compound of tires, is really struggling for grip in this very hard weather, and that has opened the gap up to Lewis Hamilton, once again repeating the home favorite, to take back P2, and Hamilton is now trying to chase after the race leader, Daniel Ricciardo. We now jump back on board with the second Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas, and Bottas is going right around the outside of Esteban Ocon, Sergio Perez. Beautiful move there from the fin. Absolutely phenomenal stuff there from Valtteri Bottas in these tricky conditions. Beautiful move there from the fin. We now jump on board with Antonio Giovinazzi in the Alfa Romeo, which just implodes because the engine is obviously inside the car. The car just implodes, and that is Antonio Giovinazzi's British Grand Prix over and done with. Very sad for the Alfa Romeo driver, who was actually looking very strong this race. They weren't battling for points. Oh, wow, that was close by the 2 Haas cars, nearly running into Giovinazzi. But guys, Alfa Romeo were really looking good to secure a proper position like P12, P11, P12. Just outside of the points. That shows you guys that Alfa Romeo are really working hard on that car to get it into the points paying positions. But literally from myself all the way down to AlphaTauri, the grid is so close together. Alfa Romeo are really going to have to improve their car leaps and bounds to actually get to where we are. As you guys quickly saw there, Esteban Ocon making a move on Sergio Perez, who I think actually started to struggle with a bit of an issue with his car. But that is now Sergio Perez down to P6 and Ocon is now up into P6. Perez is down to P7 and Bottas is in P5 behind me. Now we look at Max Verstappen battling away with the 2 AlphaTauris of Danny Kvyat and Pierre Gasly. But now these guys are going to have DRS. It's 3 Honda powered cars down the back straight. Come on, here goes Gasly back up the inside. Very nip and tuck here between the 2 former Red Bull teammates, but Verstappen just hangs it around the outside. And you guys can see now we head all the way on to lap bloody 24. And guys, this is where I was forced to make the decision. I had to come in for intermediate tires because there you guys can see tire regulation. If I didn't select the hards or the mediums, I was going to be disqualified from this Grand Prix. But as I came into the pit lane, it was ready for intermediate conditions. So I basically screwed myself, and I don't even think we're going to get points now. We were in such a prime position to get P4 in this Grand Prix, but the rain just stayed mist. Every time I would go on the radio and ask Jeff what's the weather conditions, he would just say light rain to stay, light rain to stay. And at the beginning of the Grand Prix, he told me about a 10-minute window of light rain, and then it was going to transition into heavy rain. Liar! Liar! You guys can see I've got the grip. Look at that. I passed Giovinazzi as if he's standing. Oh, Giovinazzi. I passed Gasly as if he's standing still, but that was for P11. P11. Guys, this man, the Australian, Daniel frickin' Ricciardo, has put on an absolute clinic here around Silverstone. He was untouchable this whole Grand Prix. He kept the lead off the start, built a gap, about a 4-second gap towards Hamilton and Vettel, let them fight it out for P2, and he just kept his head down. Guys, I can't believe I'm saying this. On F1 2020, a Renault is going to win in Season 2 for the second time. And also, what I think is going to make this so beautiful for Ricciardo, he's going to he's going to earn the victory in Hamilton's backyard. Hamilton had no answer for Ricciardo. He had an answer for my teammate Vettel, however, but no answer for Daniel Ricciardo. Ricciardo now heads into the final chicane and now towards the final corner. And the Australian is going to do a shoey. Ricciardo takes the win for the British Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton finishes in P2 with our teammate Sebastian Vettel being the man flying the flag for Scuderia Ferrari today, because I made a very terrible gamble with my strategy and I messed up. Bottas P4, Ocon P5. It's a good day for Renault and Mercedes in the office when you look at the Constructors' Championship. But as you guys can see, heading into the final sector, I caught up so much towards that whole battle with Gasly and Verstappen, but it was just too little too late, and we will be the only car to finish on intermediate tires. But we literally threw this away. Our first time off the podium, we are even outside the points.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Plenty of action here at Silverstone. It was a memorable race, and what an impressive victory. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
As today's winners make their way up the podium steps, the team at Renault have shown once again what it takes to build a successful Formula One team. A well-deserved win for them. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Parker increases their championship lead. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
Often my go-to would be a driver who's managed to pull off an especially impressive feat during the race. However, in this instance, I was more impressed by Max Verstappen's solid, clean driving throughout the event.
Let's move on to the constructors. Ferrari continued to extend the gap at the top of the table. Meanwhile, Renault move up the table with another strong performance this weekend. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
I can't believe it. Guys, look, I can't point fingers to anything or anyone except myself. I messed that up. I will put my hand up and say I'm guilty. The reason I didn't even get a point in that race was because I made a very, very, very big decision to go for that gamble. But guys, if you don't gamble, you don't come away with big results. And it's only the first time this season that we're not scoring points. And so far this season, we have not yet been off the podium. We have been on a podium streak now for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 races. And in those 11 races, we've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've won more than half of the races that we were on a podium streak with. That is absolutely insane. So even though this is a weekend that I would like to forget, it still isn't that bad. I hope you guys enjoy by the way, I hope you guys enjoy the filter I've put on for the highlights here. I think this is a sick filter. I used the same filter for my thumbnail. But guys, this is just, it's not been our weekend. You can't win them all, but we're gonna have to pull our socks up and pull our fingers out of our heinies for the next round as we head towards Hungary, if I'm not mistaken. But guys, that has been this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying till the end. The next round will be the mid-season summer break. So I think at the end of next episode we're gonna have to get a few upgrades ready for the car after we come back when we come back after the summer break. But guys, like I said, that's been this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to go check out all the links in the description down below. If you want to share this video or my channel with your friends, make sure to follow me on social media, tag me in the post or the story, and I will give you a shout out on social media as well as in one of my future YouTube videos. Second of all, guys, if you haven't done it yet, what are you doing? Hit the like down below. It's only going to take you a nifty 2 seconds, and I do highly appreciate it. And one more thing before I tell you all of you guys to subscribe, from now on, I am officially once again turbocharged to 51. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be SLR Turbo 51 anymore, guys, because the SLR league has unfortunately stopped officially. So the league does no longer exist. So from now on, I am once again turbocharged 51. And guys, if you haven't done it yet and you're new to the channel, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe down below. Don't forget to ding that bell to never miss a future awesome episode like this. I love you guys, and I'll see you all next time. Cheers!